you're gonna need hamburger, diced tomatoes. It doesn't really matter what kind, just whatever ones you prefer. That's just what I had. 4 cans of tomato sauce. Only reason I do 4 cans is this. You need as much tomato sauce as diced tomatoes. Okay? Green beans. You can use whatever kind you want. Peas. Corn. Now the peas, the only ones I like are the very young small peas. Okay, then you're gonna need your beef cubes, onion, macaroni, potatoes, another onion just in case. So, first, start frying your hamburger. Start frying your hamburger with whatever seasonings that you like to use, regardless. Like for me, I like to use seasoning salt, garlic powder, pepper, and it really depends on what I am making. Like this time, I'm gonna chop my onion. I'm gonna chop my onion and actually put it in with my meat this time. That'll be the next thing you do. Okay, second, you're gonna add your tomato sauce and diced onions in your big pan. Okay, got my meat seasoned. So I'm gonna chop my onion and we'll add that in there, and then we'll start in with the next step. Okay, and then as your hamburger is frying, we're gonna start with the tomato sauce. Okay, so when your hamburger is almost done, as you can see, this is pretty much done. And I mean, you can chop them up as small or big chunks. Oop. And as they say, a messy cook is a good cook. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna drain it. Next, we're gonna add our diced tomatoes. We're gonna keep this can though. Okay, tomato sauce. Now, I didn't have a big can of tomato sauce. So, yep. So, on your tomato sauce, you're gonna do 1 big can of tomato sauce and 1 big can of your diced tomatoes. Now, you're gonna wanna add 1.5 cans of water into your sauce. Okay, so here's 1 can. And then 1.5 cans. Okay. Okay, and then so then we use Weiler's beef cubes. You're gonna add 6 into your pan. Or how many ever you want in there.
6, that's 6.
This way, yep. And then this way, it gives that, yeah, you just drop it in there. And then this way, it gives you that beef flavor.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of like making chicken and noodles, but beef. And a whole bunch of other stuff. Make sure you're...
And then that one.
Okay, and then you're gonna turn your stove on medium. And we're just gonna stir that together. We're gonna let it come to a boil. but you add your water in there so you have, so it's a little bit thinner. Okay, so we're just gonna wait for that to heat up, and then that's when we will add everything else. Okay, so while you're waiting for your sauce to warm up, you can go ahead and open up your vegetables. Now remember, in beef stew, you can add literally anything you want to beef stew, literally. It's not really, like for us, I'm adding corn, green beans, peas. The hamburger, I'm gonna do elbow noodles, potatoes. You know, people add carrots and cabbage and barley and all kinds of stuff. So it's really just how you want to do it. But this is like one of the first steps to do is with the sauce, because that's what gets you that beef flavor. So we're gonna go ahead and add our hamburger to this. Okay, so I added the hamburger. So while this is still basically simmering, what we're gonna do is start cutting our potatoes and getting our vegetables ready. Okay, so you want to cut your potatoes and get them put in as soon as you add your hamburger, because as we know, fresh potatoes take a while to cook. When your potatoes are about halfway done, then that is when you'll add the rest of your vegetables. So that's what we're gonna do now. Yeah, I got my potatoes right here. We're gonna go ahead and dice them, and I diced mine small. So we got our potatoes diced. Our or our sauce is looking good. And of course, yes, your meat will eventually settle into the bottom. So make sure you stir pretty frequently to not get your stuff to scorch on the bottom. Because when I first made this, that's what happened to me. So we're gonna add our diced potatoes. Now these potatoes, you really do have to watch when you add, or whenever you cook them with your soup, because they like to settle on the bottom, and if you don't watch it, they will scorch on you and get stuck to the bottom. So just a little friendly reminder to make sure you stir pretty frequently. I know this isn't like the best cooking video out there. I'm working on it, getting new equipment and all that good stuff. I'm just gonna take us a little time. So, but yes, I like cutting my potatoes up pretty small, and that's just because it does take forever for your potatoes to cook. And so when they are about halfway done, we'll come back in and we will add our elbow noodles, our vegetables, and all that other good stuff that we want to add into it. Okay, let's see about where we are on that. Yep, that looks good. And I've only got my heat on medium. So, like, I started this about 2 o'clock. And we are already we are at 4 o'clock now. So it's already taken a couple hours just to get up to this point. So that's why you want to start early. Alrighty, so we're gonna let them cook, and about halfway done, we will start adding the rest of our ingredients. Okay, so our potatoes are about halfway done. So we are going to go ahead and add the rest of this stuff that we're going to add in there. Add the elbow noodles. Now, I don't add a whole lot of noodles to it, but yes, I'm using a spatula because it makes it easier to make sure I'm getting everything from the bottom. Okay, so we're gonna add just a little bit more. Them are the two noodles and potatoes are the longest things to cook. So I do recommend adding them two in first. And then you open up your vegetables, and I always drain the juice. Yes, I'm not using fresh, but you can. I'm just using out of the can. So I usually use a strainer, and I pour it all in at the same time. And you, like I said, you can add carrots, you can add whatever you want to it. And then there's Dante not liking the soup.
I don't like it.
So, I'm going to have to end up making him some hash browns and eggs. Because he's not going to want to eat the vegetable soup. Which looks amazing. So yeah, you add all your vegetables in there. And actually, I think that was pretty much perfect. I only used 1 can of each thing. So I added, I'm sorry guys, my allergies is really kicking my butt. I added 1 can of corn, 1 can of the very young small peas, and 1 can of green beans. People add carrots and cabbage and all that good stuff. However, I'm doing it simple because one, I don't like cabbage or carrots. I'm a pretty picky eater, not gonna lie.
Same.
Okay, so while that is finishing up, we are gonna start with our biscuits. So I'm gonna heat up the oven. Now, you guys can actually add or have anything with it. You don't even have to have anything with it at all if you don't want to. My grandma always made biscuits from scratch. However, with my original plan was just to get some dinner rolls. But, of course, Walmart didn't have none, and it was pouring down rain, and I really didn't want to, really didn't want to go all the way across town. So, we are going to make these. They're the next thing to the soft thing that I can eat since my top denture broke. So I'm going to start those because by the time excuse me guys. By the time these are done, this should be done. And so we're going to heat our oven to 350. So our oven is preheating. Our soup is looking pretty good. I know this video is ending up long, but this is actually my first video having to do it this way because I don't really have anybody to record me at the moment. So, just bear with me. It's my first cooking video all the way through without going live. So, bear with me. Okay, so we got our biscuits ready, and all we gotta do is wait for the oven to preheat, which is at 220. So we're about there, and we'll put them in. And this, guys, is the final product. Oh yeah. Now, it is going to be super hot. Now, if you guys like yours a little bit more juicy, you can add more tomato sauce, water, whatever you would like to add. And then we've got also our biscuits down there that are just about done. Just a couple more minutes. But there you guys go. Okay, let's taste it. It's hot. Hot, hot, hot. And it really burns my gums because I don't have teeth. I've had 4 kids. My 3rd kid, like, completely destroyed my calcium. So then my teeth ended up becoming bad, and, well, one thing led to another, so. But my top denture was still a temporary, and it ended up cracking. So I gotta get that figured out. But I'm on a soft diet now because I can't eat anything hard. Hot. Oh, yeah. If you guys try this, or if you got questions, send me a message or comment down below, and I will help you through it. So, that is absolutely amazing. And then we got biscuits to go along with it, and dipping the biscuits into it, it just makes it so much better. My grandma used to add cabbage. I didn't like cabbage. I would always pick it out. Same with the carrots. And so, this always reminds me of my grandma. She'd always make this in the fall and winter time. So, alrighty guys. Well, there you have it. Some people call it beef stew. Some call it vegetable soup. I've always called it beef stew. I don't know why, but I was talking to my mom earlier, and she goes, I don't know why you call it beef stew. It's vegetable soup. Well, same thing. So, I know this video is kind of long. Like I said, bear with me. This was my first actual cooking video doing it this way. And I'm recording it myself with no type of tripod or anything like that. So, just bear with me. I'll get better, and I'll get better equipment at some point in my life to where this will be easier. So I hope y'all have a great weekend. Make sure you comment down below, like it up, and make sure you follow. And we are still able to accept stars. All the stars is very, very much appreciated. I want to shout out to Kalia. She has sent us stars 2 days in a row. Awesome girl. I really appreciate it. We love y'all.